Are we on? Welcome.
Are we live? Are we on right
Welcome, everybody, to the Div D podcast, calling the Audible, the Div D edition. I'm your host, Simon Dagenet, joined in studio by my not-so-trustworthy Terry Tam, and our producer and executive dickhead for the week.
Executive
Chapman.
Just for the week.
The men of many nicknames. Antonio De Versa, Chapman, Hunger Games. There's probably others I don't know about.
Chappie, Tones.
How's your
Rusher extraordinaire.
How's your week, Terry? How's it been?
Week is not bad. 2-1. 2-1 in my teams.
It's not bad. Yeah, but this is only Div D, so we don't care.
So
about
I'm
the
0-1 in this
so
division.
0-1. So for those
Partially
who were
my
watching
fault.
the panel show,
Yeah.
you discussed how you don't do any bad snaps in the past 2 years. How you're a very good snapper now. You snap low so it doesn't happen. I was scorekeeping your game. Tell us what happened, Terry.
Ooh, two bad ones. Eh?
Two very bad.
I
On
had
a fourth down.
On a
fourth classy one.
I had two bad ones also in Div C where I snapped for a safety.
Really?
But Div B, it was first play of the game. At least it wasn't
You're
the last
snapping
play of
for
the game
Incredibles?
this time. Yeah. In Div B, no, I was flawless, baby.
You're flawless.
Flawless.
So it took you.
It was new gloves.
So it took you 3 games.
The gloves were new, so they were tight.
Okay.
And I didn't use them before. First time I ever used them.
Awesome.
It kind of just went everywhere.
So
Not
I'm
where I
trying
wanted
a
it to
new
be.
segment here because it's a first time host, so I get to say every segment is new.
We're gonna change it up.
Your Sportira's best dressed moment of the week. So you tell us your best moment of the week. I was expecting Chapman to do it too, but he doesn't have a mic because,
Does it have to be Div D?
No, it could be about your life. It could be about your best moment of the week. It could be
best
about
okay.
anything at all.
My best dress moment of the week was, I think it was a best learning moment. I would say is
Alright.
snapping it over my quarterback's head on the first play to go down by 2-0, 2-0 in Division C.
At least it's not in the playoffs on the last play of the game.
Last play of the game.
So that's
In a tie game.
I mean, it's better, I guess. My best moment of the week had to be, I was at work. I work in grocery stores, and
You work inside grocery stores,
I work for Coke, but I work in grocery stores.
so you're a salesman.
And this, yes.
Don't undersell yourself ever in life.
I don't. I'm literally saying where I work.
Don't make it seem like you're a bag boy. All you bag boys out there, I did it.
What? That's
It's not fun.
nice.
It's not fun.
It's a decent job if you're
It's
16.
alright. It's alright.
So, anyways, this guy comes up to me, and this lady was screaming in the alleys, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Who pissed in her cereals?" I never heard that before,
Yeah,
but
he
this
told
is
me.
amazing.
Who pissed in her cereals?
Yes, please look at me like, have you not heard this before?
Her
But it's
Cheerios, you mean?
completely amazing, and from now on, I'm using that every single time I can.
Hey, est-ce qui a pissé dans tes céréales big? Like
Yeah.
that? You're gonna say it like that?
It was basically what happened because it was in French because it's Quebec. So let's jump into our highlights of the week. So we'll recap games quickly so we can try to get as many games as possible instead of breaking down 3 games the way Mokan does it and everyone's bored of it. So for me this week, I saw Blue Devils play. I score-kept the Blue Devil games, and they added Julien Paiement as a rusher who
Crazy.
played for Les Buddies back in the days when they made their championship rush.
Yeah.
Listen, to have Julien Paiement rush for you guys, it's huge.
Huge,
First, your
absolutely.
defense actually comes to life,
Yeah.
and their offense has speed now, which
What-
makes Gianfranco look really good.
Exactly. What I like about that is it has a lot of speed. I also like that Gianfranco's not going to have to score on every drive. You know what I mean? Even though he went 5 touchdowns this game, he's not going to have to score every drive because Julien Paiement will be able to create a lot of turnovers.
He did. He caused some sacks. He has some good sack coverage, some good coverage on defense because the QB doesn't get the third
Absolutely.
reads, and they made a huge difference.
They also played against a weaker team in Weapon X, and talk about that later.
Yeah, their quarterback is not
Garbage.
No, he's not bad. He's just not ready.
He's not bad. I meant the whole team.
I got some of that Longhorn shootout against 5-star
prospects. Yeah. New
and
quarterback.
Jeremy Anderson playing quarterback
Yeah.
for the first time in FBF.
I scrimmaged a lot against Jeremy Anderson this over the past in the offseason, and he's a really good quarterback.
Yeah,
Especially when he has good weapons, and I think that throwing 5 TDs against the Longhorns, it's not the same Longhorns that we're used to. I mean, they're missing.
There's Brian Martin and Rob Allen.
Yeah.
So the 2 big dudes on the
They're
roster.
2 number 1 receivers right there. It's not the same team. They added Brad Evans, who's a decent receiver in this division, of course. But what I think is that 37 points is good for them. I just think that 32 points allowed on defense is very surprising, knowing that they have Jeremy Anderson, Jordan Moses, and Dylan Daou on that team.
Yeah,
and
it's
Dylan
true.
Daou to me is the best Daou.
But John Moody played well. He was accurate. You could feel he was missing his big size receivers.
Yeah.
But he also still have the Rosens. He also he has 3 of his 5 starting receivers for the past
course, yeah.
16 seasons or so.
Yeah.
So like I understand you lose your best receiver, but you
Growing
still
pains.
have your go-tos. You know.
You're growing pains. I mean, you still have your snapper. You know he's going to be open down the middle. He's a big guy. Adding, like I said, Brad Evans is a guy not to ignore. He's a really talented player, and he's been in this league for a long time. He's very, very experienced.
So speaking of your team, Frosty Bronsons, you
Yeah,
played against
yeah.
Zoo this week.
Yes, we did.
Frank
impressed.
K played well.
Frank K.
To be honest, he played some pretty good football. I wasn't expecting that well from Frank K. Week 1.
Yeah.
He didn't use Pat Saint-Amand at all.
Well, we kind of planned against that.
Yeah, I saw that too. But without Pat Saint-Amand, he went
Kevin,
5 or
myself.
6 touchdowns this week. He went really well. And Van Lack played fantastic on defense.
Yeah, Van Lack
Tipped up pretty much everything.
Van Lack was on fire. Then you had Marcel, who played amazing as well. Frosty Bronsons came out flat. We didn't. There was a few miscommunications, a few underthrows, overthrows, we had a lot of drop balls. But the thing about Zoo is it's the gloves, man. It's the gloves. The thing about the Zoo is that they played extremely well, and like you said, Frank A was on fire, man. Every play he called was for a purpose, and he didn't falter at all.
So preseason, you called out Magic City to be in the bottom 5.
Yeah, but whatever. They beat On Les Empêche.
Okay.
Another bottom 5 team.
Okay. What about Johnny Lepenzona's performance?
He had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I think both. 2 touchdowns and 2 picks.
He had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for them. I mean, yeah, that's impressive against the like I said, a weaker team. A good quarterback in Nicolas Schaefer on the other side had a weak game. He played for I repped out West a few years ago, and he had 38 touchdowns in 1 year. So this is a game where I thought that maybe he'd be able to, show his true talents. But Schaefer not coming up rather soft against a tough team that made it to the semifinals of 5B last year in Magic City. So I mean, they're going to be a decent team. I don't see them doing anything more than 3-7 when it comes to Magic City.
All right, we'll talk about that further down the stretch, I guess.
Yes, I will.
We also caught some of the Ghost games when they played 2.5 dabs.
My boys,
which is a pretty good name, to be honest.
2.5 dabs, yeah.
2.5 dabs.
What you would think? I relate to 2.5 Dans.
They kind of are.
They
Same
are.
quarterback.
It's the same guys.
Yeah. So tell me about the game a little bit.
So basically what happens is Eric, I'm going to call him Eric Marino, not Maurino. So since he had a good game, it's his first game ever at quarterback, throwing 4 touchdowns. Pretty impressive. Against Ghosts, where you had 2 players play that game. One was Gab Wiseman. The other one was Zach Swern. Zach Swern caught a total of 10 catches. So maybe look at other receivers. Or game ended 26-19 in favor of the Dabs. Key to this game was defense. And I think the Dabs, their experience and what they added, I'm very impressed with this team for sure.
So I was talking to Jeff Rosenblatt after his game when he played the Alpha Tees. And he was telling me how he doesn't know anybody on that team, but they are amazing. Yeah, I know pretty much everybody on that team, and they are amazing.
They're a pretty good team.
I was looking at the roster prior to writing the script, and honestly, just seeing all the names, I have no idea how that roster fits.
Valet, who else
Alex David, George Lee, Jesse Dupuis playing quarterback. He's also a fantastic defender.
Yeah. I was surprised. I mean, and Get Off My D, best name in FPF, by the way. Get Off My D, very talented, but I think it's Jeff Rosenblatt learning this offense. I don't know if they've scrimmaged during the offseason.
I expect so.
But they threw it to Jad almost every play. And
yeah, but why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Right? Why wouldn't you?
He was two-way player of the year, and they have 2 last winter.
We'll see what happens going forward.
Okay.
But I didn't like Jeff Rosenblatt's game at all. I was watching him play, and I wasn't impressed at all.
And final game we'll recap this week is Friends in Low Places took on Bromigos on Monday night. Friends in Low Places were without their starting quarterback, Jordan Belmar. Yep. They added Alex Gray that plays for their farm team in Div E, Soudan Clan, to play quarterback.
Didn't score a touchdown in Division E.
I don't think so. I think he went 0-2.
Did not score a touchdown in Division E. And he threw 2?
Yes.
He only scored 2 points, yeah. So they didn't throw a touchdown in Division E, yet he threw 5 in Division D. You tell me.
Threw 6.
6.
6. He almost had a perfect QB rating. He just fed Danny Damour and Kevin Smuda, basically.
Why not?
Well, when you have these kinds of receivers, you just have to go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Smuda is a huge addition for them. Very underrated guy. Played in the finals in Division 4A last year and was able to win a championship with the Coyotes. Wasn't there with the Coyotes this week, even though they won 40-19 in their Division C game. But Kevin Smuda is huge addition for them, for sure.
So moving on, we have the brand new segment, the pie segment.
The pie segment.
It's basically your segment where you get to do whatever you want for 2 or 3 minutes.
Not much.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but hey, we'll go with it. We'll see how it goes.
I'm going to try not to disappoint Commissioner Rob Campana and Eagle as he's watching in Mexico on the sunny beaches
I
of
don't
Mexico.
think he's watching tonight.
I bet he is, man. For sure he is.
Everyone's
else is he
agreeing here. Everyone's seriously like, yeah, he's watching.
What the hell else is he going to do? Okay, so my observations in Division D this year were first-time quarterbacks and maybe like new quarterbacks. So second-season quarterbacks, like guys like Matthew Cinquino and Alex Gray, guys like that. So my observation is that these guys like to throw it deep for some particular reason.
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
And you only have to connect once every 4 passes.
Every 4
and you get to score every drive.
So if you want to become Simon Dagenet and lose all the time,
hey, it's 24%
just
completion and you win.
24
make the math here.
Like. You can't even do math. It's 25%
It's tough,
completion.
man. It's tough. I'm not good at math.
No,
There's a reason I sell stuff.
Overall, I think that it's something that they have to consider is keeping it simple and not trying to complicate your offense. Because if you're a first-time quarterback, chances are you have a lot of first-time receivers. And do not complicate your offense at all. Keep it simple. Give the ball back to you. Take the ball, score. Make sure your defense is organized so you guys can win the game. And don't try to be too fancy.
What about if you don't have first-time receivers? I mean, you were mentioning Alex Gray, who just moved up to Div D for like one-time thing. Scored 6 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah.
What do you say to him?
What do I say to him? I say you got lucky.
So you think it's a fluke?
I think it was a fluke. I like Alex Gray. He's a good guy. He's a good friend of mine. We play in the winter together. I just think that in Division D, he was more of subject of good receivers like Danny DeMar on his team.
So you're saying that he got lucky?
I'd say that he's a good Division D
and this is amazing for them. They just got to win off.
Yeah, they got lucky that the quarterback
missing.
wasn't there, that Jordan's not there. They took advantage of it, and kudos to them for taking advantage of it. Don't get me wrong. I just think that going forward, they should be. I don't know. I can't really speak because I didn't see the entire game, but all I can see for Alex Gray is that he's a great player. But for friends in low places, they should really take advantage of this win and see it as they got lucky against a good team like Bromigos, who have a lot of good talented players. They're guys that you played with, actually.
That's very true. So you're telling me your only observation of the week is to tell quarterbacks to keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Div D.
Oh yeah, and wear the same color T-shirts for Christ's sakes.
Well, it's not so bad. I haven't seen it.
It's annoying. I saw a team.
They
were all black, and he was white just because the other team was wearing pennies.
That's douchey.
What doesn't make it different?
That's douchey. So your observations about quarterbacks where you literally cannot do it yourself.
Yeah.
We've seen you time and time again playing Div 5, Div D.
Can't do it.
And now you're playing snapper because
can't throw.
You know.
I can't throw.
Technically, you do have to throw when you snap, though.
I do.
Between your legs.
Between my legs. I love throwing between my legs. There's a nasty echo.
We'll stop with that because that's awkward. Anyways, moving on to previews.
Moving on.
So, in this show, we decided to skip ahead and do actual previews, breakdowns, instead of just picking games because that's boring and no one really cares what we pick. So,
that's a good point.
Preview. Our first preview is Zoo against Backyard Bullies.
Oh, man.
That should be a pretty fantastic game.
Oh, man. Did Backyard Bullies handle the Gators this week?
Yeah, they have Brandon Burke playing quarterback for them now instead of Rich Humes because he plays quarterback for...
He's too high on the cap for Division D.
No fly zone.
No fly zone. No fly zone.
So now we have Backyard Bullies who played fantastic week 1. We have Zoo who played fantastic week 1, facing off against each other. And probably one of the biggest games of the week aside from the Junkyard Dogs against 5 Stars, which should be also pretty good.
Yeah.
Zoo looked really good. Van Lack looked really good on defense. Do you think Saint-Amand will have a bigger role on both sides of the ball this week?
I mean, I hope he does. I just think that Backyard Bullies overall, with a guy like Rich Humes on defense, they'll be able to shut that down. With a guy like Derek Fontana, they'll be able to shut it down. They're way too organized. They've been in this league for a while. They're not here to mess around, kind of thing. You would say. I don't think it's going to be that easy for them either. I'm looking at Backyard Bullies to pull through with a victory, maybe by 3 or 4 points. Zoo, even though they are a good team, they're very beatable. Very beatable.
So the key for Backyard Bullies, as Burke distributed to 6 different receivers this week.
Yeah.
And
that's what I like about them most.
They're like, who's the real number 1? O'Connor, Fontana, Humes?
Rich. It's Richie, 100%.
Because Rich had 2 targets the whole game.
No. He had 2 catches the whole game.
Yeah, 2 targets.
2 catches the whole game.
I am telling you, yeah, 2 targets.
I score kept the game.
You weren't there. Terry, please. Like, we both know when you watch games, you're clearly not watching. Clearly, because, you know.
Clearly not watching.
Clearly. Terry.
Everybody's stats are all messed up. A la Brent Calendar.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Did they actually have 6 receivers? Were they only playing with 6?
Yeah, they only played with 6 receivers. And 1 quarterback, so 7 people on the field. They played with seven people on the field, 1 quarterback, 6 receivers.
So who's
Yes,
scorekeeping
Simon.
this game? Nobody tells anything?
No, they don't do anything. I just scorekept the game. I put a bunch of random numbers out there.
Just put some random numbers in it.
I look like Brent Calendar.
Oh, shots
just
fired.
Buzzing.
So what does Zoo need to win? What does Zoo need to do to win this game?
Honestly, Frank K he's a veteran quarterback. I think that they play their offense. They'll be able to score. Their defense needs to shut down their 6 receivers, like you said. Their defense needs to shut down. Looking at Pat Saint-Amand to come up big in this game. He would have to be the key, and Marcel to get a good rush against Brennan Burke, who takes the snaps about 15 yards back.
That's a long way to run.
Yeah.
He
doesn't run, though.
I would hate to run that far.
He doesn't like to run that much.
I don't like to run either.
No.
What does Backer
Because
Bully
you
need
can't.
to...
It's not because you don't.
I can't. Have you seen me run? It's
No, I
disgusting.
haven't because you can't.
What does Backer Bully need to do to win this game?
Backyard bullies need to spread the ball out, keep confusing the Zoo defense. On the drives, I'd say this on the drives that we did well on is where James was able to distribute the ball well, throw an out, throw a slant in, maybe try a deep pass to confuse the defense to throw them off a bit and find the zones. I think that don't be predictable, because even if he's your best player, doesn't mean he's gonna be able to score.
Talk about not being predictable. Predict this game for me. Score.
Backyard bullies, I'm going to go 28-24. Does that make sense?
28-25?
28-24.
That's about fair. I was going to go 32-27 for Backyard Bullies.
32-27.
Next game on the docket, Magic City against Justice League. So we shortly talked about Johnny Lapozzona. Made himself known last week with his debut. So you're saying it's a fluke, or has he really improved from last season?
I mean, he's improved. There's always continuous improvement, right? Whenever you jump into another season after you've had a good season like that, you take everything that you learned the season before. It was their first season last year. I like what they've done so far. I like what they've done so far, and I like what they did last year as well.
So Cinquino ran 10 times through 33 attempts.
Sure.
Is he a dual threat or just smart?
No, he's a dual threat. He's a very smart player as well. He knows when to use his feet when to throw the ball. He doesn't like to throw the ball that deep. Well, he does like to throw it deep. He's not really good at throwing the ball deep. But the only thing I can say about him is that he likes to use his feet, and it's smart to use his feet as well. Because I always tell quarterbacks, if you have that talent, then do it, and then use it. If you have that ability to run, then use it.
Exactly. I have to agree. I can't do it. So I tell people to do it because obviously I can't.
Of course.
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Justice League offense got the job done last week, but their defense really shone. You could see from the stat sheet their offense was got 24 points on the board, but it wasn't pretty. But their defense shut down the opponent team.
Yeah.
What's the key to their defense?
Key to their defense, playing against Magic City, is play man. I think they should go man the entire game.
Okay, because they have the athletes to go man on everybody.
They have the athleticism to go man all game with guys like Mendy and Jason. And Naeem, I think that those are the guys. They should be able to go man all game. Maybe a 4-1 would confuse a quarterback like Matthew who likes to run.
Okay. So how does this game shake down?
I'm going to go Justice League by 6. So I'm going to say...
Offensive game, defensive game?
Defensive game, 20-14.
Oh, interesting. 14.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
3 touchdowns and 2-point conversion.
Next game on the docket is Weapon X against Odd Boys Hotline. So your boy, listening in, Eagle.
Yeah,
we get to talk about him for once.
Hot Boys Hotline.
Weapon X offense looked terrible last week. Maxwell, their new quarterback, had trouble connecting with any receivers not named Donnet or Warrell. And even there, it wasn't pretty.
Even at that, yeah.
Same old problem for Weapon X or just a bad case of week 1?
I think it was same old problem for Weapon X. Jordan Maxwell, he looks great when he drops back and throws, but it's not accurate at all. Hot Boys Hotline with a rusher like Malcolm, with players like Logan, and I think Bryden's on the team again this year, with guys like Bryden on the team, and even Eagle. I mean, he's a very smart player. We make fun of him all we want, but he got a pick.
We do make fun of him.
Yeah, I mean, he got a pick last week. He's a very smart guy, and he doesn't make mistakes when it comes to that. Nothing gets in front of him, and he's able to tackle. And I think that Jordan Maxwell needs to figure another way to handle his offense, because it's just not working.
Because throwing no touchdowns is not going to get you W's.
Yeah, isn't Akeem on that team too?
Yeah, and no, Akeem only plays on top
season. Yeah.
Can Gatehouse get it done? Gatehouse get it done this season, or is this the season Hot Boys Outline should actually make the playoffs and make a deep push, or is it Buster ship or bust for them.
I haven't analyzed their schedule. I haven't
Terrible.
analyzed their
That was a
schedule.
terrible.
Did you say ship or bust?
Yes.
Ship or bust.
Ship
Hashtag,
or bust.
hashtag ship or bust. I haven't analyzed their schedule that much, but I think Gatehouse he's gone a lot better. I mean, everybody knows if you've watched the last Div 5 and Div D podcast, you know, I've bashed the guy.
I hope you do.
I mean, I do. I don't think he's that good. I just think
He's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, and you'd think he would have been a lot better, but he's actually figured stuff out, and he's realized that he's not going to do everything himself. And that's the key to realize a quarterback is that you can't do everything. You have to do just enough, and you have to rely on your defense and rely on your receivers to get those balls as well. So do I see them in the playoffs? Yes, I do, because they are a very talented team, both sides of the ball. Do I see them going far? Absolutely not, because Gatehouse will pull a Gatehouse.
Okay, pull the Gatehouse.
Pull a Gatehouse. Pull a Dashne. Gatehouse will pull a Dashne.
What does that mean?
I
don't even make the playoff. All right, so what does Weapon X need to do to win this game?
Weapon X. I just really don't see them winning this game, so I can't tell you what they're supposed to do.
Basically, put more points on the board than the other team.
Yeah, score more points. That's the way to win. No, what I think Weapon X has to do is Jordan Maxwell needs to really come out guns blazing, man, and connect right away. Make Brighton think too much, because when Brighton, you get in his head a little bit too much, he likes to run across the field. He's fast as hell, but when it comes to covering, he's not the best cover guy when going deep. So take advantage of that. Get them tired. Make sure your receivers are running their routes properly. I think that's the biggest key.
All right, last game we're going to preview here. Bromigos against Get Off My D. We talked about both teams previously before. Bromigos look like they had fixed their issues in the first two drives, scoring on both of the first two possessions, and then things went south really fast. Last season's leading receiver, James Lacroix, who had a fantastic first season, was limited to 1 yard. Is that how you stop Bromigos' offense?
Limiting them to 1 yard?
Well, limiting James Lacroix to very small possessions.
Well, I didn't know this, but Pat Larose-Laurent, even though he's about 45 million years old, he was an ex-CJEF quarterback, but I wasn't too impressed with his first season, with his first game. I just think that Pat Larose-Laurent, maybe is his first year at quarterback in FCF?
Second, he played with Bromigos this winter when they went 2-8.
Oh, they went 2-8,
4B.
So there you go. So a season under his belt, figured out. He played against a tough team, Friends in Low Places, this week. He's playing against another extremely tough defense and Get Off My D, with Marty Friedman on there. Marty Friedman, Jahad Aridi. I don't see it going their way. But what I will say is that if Pat Larose-Laurent can maybe mask the and pick on their weaker guys like Alan Aridi, even though I love the guy. Pick on a guy like Tim and make sure that he's on the field. Make sure that you get your best receiver in front of him and create those matchups. I think it's the best thing you can do is create those matchups.
So Get Off My D suffered a tie. They didn't actually lose to the Alpha T's, who were arguably dominant.
Yeah.
With Freeman and Aridi catching footballs from Rosenblatt, who had an amazing season last winter in 4B. Do you think that's one of the best offense in the division, or was there just having a fluke night?
It's not one of the best offenses in the division. I think they have a lot of talent on the offense, but it's not the best offense in the division. I wouldn't put them in the top 5 either. Jeff Rosenblatt could be a good quarterback, but without his core receivers, I don't see it happening. I think that they should flex Marty Friedman into the snapper position and put Jad on the outside as opposed to the other way around. That way, Jeff Rosenblatt, because he likes to throw to the outside, and he's throwing it to Jad a lot, which is fine, but you got to use receivers like Marty Friedman. And Moazab, I mean, he has a lot of drops, but he also can catch extremely big balls. And
it's true.
I've
seen him do some big balls.
Yeah, Moazab loves big balls. Zig it, and I just think that
that was terrible.
No, it's
bad.
It's Mo asked me to say the word zig it, so zig it again. Go to zigit.com, and basically I just think that he needs to spread out the ball more instead of just focus on Jad Aridi.
All right, how does this game shake down in your mind?
Get Off My D is gonna win by 12.
12, so dominant.
32-20.
Okay. So that was it for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Terry Town, for being here.
Being me.
For waiting around because we're so late.
We were the first ones here. We do the last podcast.
That's very true. I don't understand how this works.
Doesn't make sense.
Thank you, Chapman, for your inexplicable silence. We expected you to say something, but no.
It's okay. He doesn't need to
speak. Thank you. Thank you, Chapman.
He's beautiful. He doesn't need to speak. He's not even plugged in.
Thanks, Ego, for not being around. It's so much less stressful and more quiet. I actually enjoy it much more. So I hope you're listening to this and you stay in Mexico for a few more weeks.
Forever.
Well-
what the hell, man, guy?
Catch us on the field. We'll be at the field. Some scorekeeping on Sunday nights at Lachine.
I will not be there.
I believe you scorekeep at some point sometime.
No,
No, never.
sometimes.
I've seen your name on that score.
Yeah. I'm scorekeeping June 5th, so there. I'll be
Okay,
there
so
June
you
5th.
scorekeep on. You can tweet us at Dajna FPF or Terry Time FPF.
Yes, sir.
I would say to tweet Chapman, but like is at
LOL
Chapman's
Chapman?
Like, LOL Chapman. No Twitter. What are you doing?
Oh, it's not LOL Chapman. I thought it was. I saw it in the prep sheet. I was like, that's a cool name. That's not. Well, we're gonna make it.
It's gonna change every week.
I'll take care
There's
of it.
no doubt about it. Chapman doesn't have a Twitter, and he's producing the show.
Someone's got to make it LOL Chapman.
So that's it for us. Any final thoughts, Terry Tam?
Salut la visite.
Salut la visite.
That's our closing statement.
Chapman, any final thoughts?
As usual, Chapman.
Nope.
Very interesting.
All right. So thank you all for letting me not be peas.
I was about to say, you're about to say the wrong closing. It's salut la visite.
Salut la visite. Thank you, Terry.